I get paid $3,000 an hour to consult entrepreneurs on how to 10x their businesses. In this video, I'm going to share the most non-obvious advice that I give, yet seems to come up every single time. By the time you finish this video, you're going to walk away with 7 knowledge bombs that I promise will change the way you look at business. But first, let me address the elephant in the room. The question you're probably already asking. How does this motherfucker charge $3,000 an hour? Here's the landing page for my consulting services. And down here, sure enough, here's the pricing at $2,997 per hour. And if for whatever reason you're unhappy, then there's a 100% money back guarantee. So how did I come up with $3,000 per hour? I calculated this price tag based on my effective hourly rate, EHR, which is essentially how much you make divided by how much you work. For me, it's a bit less than $3,000 an hour. This brings us to our first concept. If you don't know your effective hourly rate, EHR, you'll take 3 to 5x as long to hit your financial goals. Knowing your EHR unlocks a decision-making framework that's so good it'll make you want to slap your mama. The game works like this. If you want to get rich faster, do things that are higher than your effective hourly rate because you'll increase your EHR. And don't do things that are lower than your effective hourly rate because they'll lower your EHR. If your effective hourly rate is $50, but you found a job or side hustle that can get you $100 per hour, you need to do more of that. It boosts your average. Also, if there's a task that you can outsource for less than $50 per hour, like data collection or mowing your lawn, you need to hire someone to do that now. You also see the price of wasting time. Yes, you could drive to run that errand and save money, but if driving takes an hour, you actually just wasted $50 of your time. Or you could get that thing delivered for $10, allowing you to focus on work and thus coming out $40 ahead. You can also set a goal to raise your EHR. If your EHR is $50 now, then by next year it should be higher. Also, you have protection from shiny object syndrome. Should I start crypto trading? Well, look at how much you've made from crypto and divide by how much time you spent doing it. Now, real quick, before I get to my next knowledge bomb, I want to let you know that my SEO agency, The Search Initiative, has a $1,000 off discount going on till the end of the month. To get a free audit, head on over to thesearchinitiative.com and put your details into the form, and we'll let you know what we can do for you. Now back to the video. The next nugget is to audit your time, the only research you can never get back. In life, your time is split up between 3 different categories: work, family, and pleasure. These 2 over here, family and pleasure, these are the ones that recharge you. They're the categories that ultimately life is worth living for. Work is important too, gives you purpose and meaning. But most importantly, it provides the actual resources, cash, that it takes to enjoy the things you do. But you don't really want to spend all your time working. You want to be efficient, so the time you spend working makes you the most money possible while you're doing it. Besides, in order to calculate your effective hourly rate, how much you make divided by how much you work, you need to know exactly how much you work. If you think that you work 100 hours per month, but you actually work 50, then your EHR is going to be 2x off and you're going to be royally f***ing up all the decisions you make. On Monday, the second you start doing a task, you're going to write down what time you started and what time you finished. So as you can see here, the first thing I did that morning was optimize my Facebook ads for 6 minutes. Continue doing this throughout the day. You only want to be charting the time that you're actually working. Don't count time you spend on Instagram. Don't even count when you go to the bathroom. Do the same thing each of the other days in the week. Don't assume that you work just as hard on Friday as you do on Monday. Now that you know how much time you work in a week, you can figure out how much you work in a month. Since there's roughly 4.25 weeks in the average month, just multiply your hours in a week by 4.25. Now you have all the pieces to the puzzle to calculate your true EHR. If you want to dive deeper into this stuff, after you finish this video, watch my full EHR explainer video called The Millionaire Trick No One Knows About. Here's your next nugget. At the highest level of business, when you're the boss, the CEO, the Giga Chad, your time is going to be split up between either A, hiring and managing, or B, innovating and steering the ship. The better you are at doing A, the more time you'll have for B, which is what actually makes you money.
But Matt, if I'm a CEO, won't I have an HR department that does the hiring for me?
Here's the thing. You, along with everyone else, should always hire their own direct reports. Otherwise, you'll never fully take responsibility for these people. Oh, Nancy in HR hired this jackass for me. It's Nancy's fault that they suck. On the other hand, if you hired that person, you're forced to make it work by investing into that person. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not a natural when it comes to hiring. But I read this book, Who, the A Method for Hiring, and now you bet your buns I'm good at it. I'm surrounded by A players at work. The management part of the equation boils down to knowing what to delegate and knowing how to delegate it. You already know what tasks to delegate. Everything that you can hire for less than your effective hourly rate. If your EHR is $500 an hour, then you're insane if you're writing content, building backlinks, and designing web pages. Unless you love doing it, which I guarantee you won't anymore after 6 more months doing it. When it comes to delegation, learn to assign responsibilities and not tasks. A task would be something like, go to this spreadsheet and remove all the lines that have less than DR20 and TF10. That's not exciting. And your employee is going to be like, my boss thinks I have an IQ of a cheesecake. Assigning responsibility is more like, deliver a clean list of 500 outreach targets every Monday morning with whatever method you see fit. Your employee is going to feel empowered by the ownership you've given him or her of this responsibility. And guess what? They'll do a much better job because they have pride in the ownership of that work. By the way, here's a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Search Intelligence.
This campaign got us big links in websites such as Lifehacker, Wales Online, Daily Record, and about 20 other news websites. Let me show you how we've done it. We knew that people will be flying a lot this summer, and we knew that journalists will be writing about this topic a lot. So, on behalf of our client, we put together a nice guide about how to fall asleep on the plane. Then we use Muckrack to find journalists who write about travel. Then we put our advice in a nice email and send the tips to the journalists. Within just a few days, the links started landing, securing our client natural placements in really big websites, just like this, and this. This is a great example about how you can leverage seasonal trends to earn links to a website. Anticipate what journalists want to write about at all times and give them the stories that they need. They will reward you with some great, juicy links. I hope this is helpful.
Now back to the video. Next up, everything you do, there's going to be someone you can hire who can do it better.
But Matt, I'm the best keyword researcher on the planet. No one can do it better than me.
Hello, ego. Bear with me for a second. Imagine if someone's only job were to do that one thing. All they do is keyword research. Don't you think that eventually they'll be better than you at it? Especially if they had you, the best keyword researcher on the planet, to teach them how to do it and avoid the learning curve. I don't do anything anymore except hire, manage, and innovate. All these SEO tasks that I used to think I was the Michael Jordan of, they're all replaced by people who now do it better. Give your ego a break so you can delegate. Next up, you're either a visionary or integrator. Find out who you are ASAP and partner with the other half. Visionaries are masters of marketing and finding product market fit. They're the big picture thinkers, the innovators, the problem solvers, and relationship builders that attract talent to the cause. Think Richard Branson, Walt Disney, Bill Gates, Bezos, Musk, and the great Steve Jobs. But for every Steve Jobs, you need a Steve Wozniak to actually carry out that dream. They're the integrators, the operators. They're execution-oriented, great managers and process builders. They make the idea into reality. Not so known fact, visionaries are common AF. It's the sexier of the rules and everyone and their mama has a vision. But integrators are the true golden geese. True story, I was at a conference workshop called Find Your Co-Founder. When the facilitator asked, who's a visionary in the room? 90% of the room raised their hands. There were only 6 integrators in the whole workshop. If you're a visionary, your success relies upon defining the vision, of course, but more importantly, identifying and attracting A-player integrators. Get out of operations, you suck at it. If you're an integrator, your job is to market yourself, which will take practice because it isn't natural for you. You want to showcase your skills in front of the best visionaries with a track record of wins. This next one is for the SEO nerds. SEO is like roulette with a 75% win rate. 75% win rate? Why the hell wouldn't you focus on something that's more of a sure thing? I'll tell you why. Imagine if there was one game at the casino that had a 75% win rate. What would you do? You'd sit at that table and play it all damn day long. And the best way to make the most money in a game like this is to play as many high bet games as possible. You'd bet your house because eventually you're going to hit a jackpot. If you're building websites, don't make one project in a semi-lucrative industry. Make 10 and shoot for the stars. If you're doing SEO for another business, never give up. That 75% chance could come through at the next Google algorithm update. Next up, if you're running an agency, your number 1 KPI is customer lifetime and churn. Your number 2 KPI is your reputation of integrity. Always doing what you say, when you say you'll do it, at the highest level of quality. Integrity is often slept on. Now obviously your customers need to know your word is gold if you expect them to stick around. But if this reputation exceeds you, prospective clients are going to be lining up at the door to work with you. Not only that, but your internal culture needs to center around integrity, and employees that can't keep their word need to GTFO. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one.